Hey everyone, it's Jen with Spirited Saturdays, and it's Sunday. Um, I'm sick, so I'm sorry that I didn't get a video up yesterday, and this video is gonna be a little compromised because I am sick. I'm not that sick. I'm just like I just got a cold. So anyway, right. This week we're talking about what are we talking about? Whoa. I really look sick, don't I? I have like red, I'm like all puffy. Alright, it's okay. So, anyway, this week we're talking about what do we do if the people that victimized us were not punished accordingly or at all? And how do we kind of move on even if we know that they haven't, that justice, you know, hasn't been done, or that we're kind of left hanging. um and the thing that I want to draw on, I guess, from my personal experience for this video is more of just like people not being held accountable for their actions, and you kind of being left without the hope that they ever will be. So, I mean, for example, like the bullying thing, I don't think that I spoke about bullying the previous 2 weeks, two videos that I made, and the people who bullied me never admitted that they were wrong, and they certainly never faced any consequences of their actions. And I kind of had to go on with this idea, or with this, I guess, this belief that they my interpretation of it was that they must have just continued to go on believing that they were justified in doing what they were doing, that nothing inside them ever shifted to realizing that maybe what they did wasn't right. So it's hard, like, maybe that's not true, but I didn't really have any proof otherwise. So for a while I was just thinking that that was the case, um and I still kind of do. But I think that maybe something that could help that is, for whoever it is, for whoever, if you're in that similar situation where you're thinking that, the people who bullied you or who victimized you are just fine with it. They're just, like, here's the thing. Maybe they have not been made to feel that they were wrong externally. Maybe nobody ever told them they were wrong. Maybe nobody ever made, put them in a position of having to face themselves and what they did and the consequences of what they did. And, maybe that is true. But that doesn't mean that, because if you mistreat somebody, it has to affect you. It has to take a toll on you. There can be a total peacefulness and alignment within yourself if you mistreat somebody. So, and if you carry that with you for years without ever owning owning up to it, then that's really gonna that could very well take an unconscious toll. So, it's not that I'm sitting here finding solace in the fact that it can't possibly go unaccounted for even internally, but it is a reality check, because it's not as though it almost shifts it in a way that allows me to almost feel pity for the people who bullied me. Because maybe they never realized it, and maybe they never will on a conscious level, that what they did was wrong. Maybe they'll never actually own up to it. And that actually makes me feel sorry for them. And in a way, that is a way of taking back my power over the situation. That if you really can grow up and be seemingly okay with the things that you did, never see a problem with it, and see yourself as the more powerful one in that situation, and for, and at a certain point not even think about it anymore because it was a long time ago. So, I'm the one that's holding on to it. They're certainly not, like they've been able to I mean, consciously, they probably have moved on. I don't think that they um struggle, in the same way that I do. But if that's if it's possible for somebody to do that, to hurt somebody and then just move on and never give it a second thought, that says a lot about that person. And it says to me that that's not the kind of person I want to be. And it's not the kind of person that I want to allow to have power over me, this, like, any kind of residual power. It's like they really don't deserve that space, in my life and in my head and in, my I mean, because a lot of the reason that I developed an eating disorder was because I was made to feel so very insecure at a very young age with who I was. And really made to not be okay with who I was, and just not like myself. And I'm not saying that was all them. I know there were other reasons I felt that way, but they definitely reinforced it on a very big level. So they kind of put words, to, you know, maybe the insecurity that I already felt. So, I think as a way of growing and of really further claiming and stating my recovery, I have full permission to let that go, and to even say, to not make it about like a power thing, but to kind of reclaim my wholeness in that if somebody can do that to somebody, they must not be very happy, or they must have not been very happy at the time. And if they're never going to be accountable, then to an extent, even if they would never really fully consciously register it, they will be carrying that with them. And it has to reflect a greater part of their personality if they're able to do that and just move on seamlessly. And I'm not like that. I'm not. I have a conscience. So I'm happy that I'm not like that. And the and and then and then, yeah, if they're human at all, it has to have taken some kind of toll on an unconscious level. So, and me and it's totally a thing of the past. But, if there's never kind of like any accountability for it, something is not quite right. So, it gives me a reason to be grateful that I can't even imagine myself treating someone like that. So it shows me who I'm not. So if the people who victimized you aren't punished or aren't held accountable, you could still find peace in other ways. You could still find peace from the situation and wholeness within yourself, and balance and okayness with the whole thing, without even needing their external validation that it was wrong, or without even needing something to happen to show them that they were wrong. That yeah, I think that I'm just realizing as I'm saying this, but but yeah, you could you know other I think sometimes other people can really serve the purpose of highlighting what we are not, and what we would never be. And we need to own that about ourselves. Then this has been shown to me. I would never do that. And I'm that highlights a part of myself, that highlights an aspect of myself that I like, that I want to come into alignment with, that I want to show to the world. And maybe they gave me something by bullying me. Maybe they showed me the extreme of my compassion. Maybe through them I was able to see my they were my mirrors in a sense. Like maybe I was able to see my own compassion through the ultimate lack of compassion. So if you could kind of turn it into something like that and help it mold who you are and who you become, and in that sense make you stronger and make you like yourself more and feel more empowered, that could be a really good way of making peace of it if you don't have that. Even if you did have that external proof or that punishment, I think you would still need to do something like that. So that kind of covers all the bases. So I hope this helped. It helped me to just talk about it and then realize it as I was talking. But yeah, and I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and are having a great long weekend. And I'll see you next week. Okay, thanks. Bye.